disputar o título novamente. Então, quem sabe, talvez mais uma luta e depois o título.
Well, my goal is to eventually, obviously, fight for the title again. So maybe one more fight, and then I'll be ready to fight for the title.
Fantastic. And when it came to the judge's decision, what did you think the outcome was going to be? Were you surprised? Were you confident you were going to win, or were you a bit worried what the outcome was going to be?
Depois da luta, depois que você sabia, tem certeza que tinha ganho, ou tinha alguma dúvida que os juízes poderiam escolher ela que tive ganho a luta de você?
Eu sabia que tinha ganho na minha pontuação e na pontuação do meu técnico, eu sabia que eu tinha ganho. Mas quando fica na mão dos juízes, a gente fica sempre com medo do que eles podem dar no resultado.
I knew I had won. My coaches told me I won. I felt like I won the fight, but every time we leave it in the hands of the judges, especially with the hometown fighter, opponent from the hometown, we really never know. But in my heart, I knew I had won the fight.
And last question from me. How would you rate your performance yourself? Like, how did you feel you did in there? Did you feel you could do any better, or did you feel like you did the best you could?
Como é que você acha que você lutou hoje? Lutou melhor que você pode lutar, ou tem alguns ajustes, algumas coisas que você deveria ter feito diferente? Como você julga a sua própria performance hoje à noite?
Eu acho que eu fiz o que eu tinha que fazer para vencer a luta. Eu sei que ainda eu posso mais. Eu até tentei trabalhar um pouquinho mais no meu jogo agarrado, que ainda outros torcedores ainda não conseguiram ver, mas eu senti dificuldade porque minha adversária estava muito lisa. Então, acredito que eu posso mostrar ainda muito mais.
I'm happy with my performance, but I have so much more to show. I really wanted to show you guys my ground game, but Gaethje was very greased up, very oily, very slippery, and that really threw me off.
Congratulations, and I hope you enjoyed your stay in the UK.
Parabéns e aproveite o seu tempo aqui em Londres.
Thank you.
Jennifer, right in the front, right here. When you say she was slippery and oily, do you think she had something on her body, or was it just sweat?
Como você está falando em todas as entrevistas, que ela estava muito lisa, você acha que é suor? Você tem certeza que é vaselina ou alguma coisa que ela passou no corpo?
Olha, às vezes pode ser até o hidratante. Eu sou mulher, eu sei que se a gente passar bastante hidratante no corpo, fica um pouco escorregadio. Então, eu não posso julgá-la, mas eu não acho que seja só suor.
Listen, I don't want to just call shots like this. Can be skin moisturizer, but definitely, I'm just letting you know, it was not just sweat.
How early into the fight did you feel that, or did it progress as the fight went on?
Quanto você na luta você se tocou que ela estava toda oleosa? Foi no começo ou demorou um pouco para se tocar?
No primeiro momento que a gente foi para o jogo agarrado, onde eu cinturei ela perto da grade, naquele momento eu já senti ela muito lisa. Eu tenho um jogo muito forte nisso e sabia que eu poderia ser superior, né? Eu me senti mais forte que ela. Então, nesse primeiro encontro, eu já senti ela muito escorregadia.
The first time we locked bodies. As soon as I locked the body against the cage, I have a very strong game against the cage, and I felt extremely difficult to get a hold of her and keeping a hold of her because she was so slippery. So I had to abandon and go back to boxing.
It looked like, from watching this fight, you only went for one takedown, and you had almost all of your success on the feet. Was that the game plan coming into this fight, to keep it standing and don't use such a grappling heavy game plan?
Diz que você só tentou uma queda, mas como eu disse, o seu plano, a sua estratégia era vir para cá e fazer mesmo boxe, fazer a luta em pé, ou você teve que mudar porque a estratégia, porque o que aconteceu com ela tá alisada, né, oleosa?
Eu queria colocar um pouquinho mais de jogo de quedas, mostrar que eu sei fazer esse jogo também. Mas, como eu senti essa dificuldade no primeiro encontro com ela, então eu tive que jogar mais no jogo que eu senti confortável, que é no boxe.
No, I definitely wanted to show my grappling skills, my wrestling skills, but once I felt the difficulty, she was extremely slippery, I didn't want to force that. I went back to I adjust my game plan, I went back to what I was doing well, moving my head in boxing.
Bueno, en español, Jennifer, creo que me entiendes más o menos, tenemos un idioma muy parecido, te hablo despacio. Felicitaciones en primer lugar por tu grandísima victoria. ¿Crees que sería posible, para dar un salto y poder enfrentarte a la campeona Alexa Grasso, tal vez una revancha con Valentina Shevchenko?
Parabéns pela vitória. Você acha que para chegar ao campeão, para lutar com a Alexa Grasso, você vai ter que fazer uma revanche com a Shevchenko ou não?
Eu acredito que não. Eu acredito que agora a categoria está movimentando bastante, então tem bastante menina ali que está perto do título. Eu acho que pode ser uma luta sem ser contra a Valentina para eu poder disputar o título novamente.
Jennifer, one of your previous opponents, Joanne Wood, fought on this card earlier. What did you think of her performance if you watched it?
O que você achou da luta do Jojo Caldoano com a Luana? Você deu para assistir a luta? O que você achou da luta delas?
Eu acabei não assistindo essa luta, mas eu vi só alguns lances, que foi uma luta bem parelha, né? Que a decisão podia ser tanto para uma quanto para outra, mas eu realmente não assisti essa luta.
Unfortunately, I didn't have time to watch the fight. I heard that was a very competitive fight. It could have gone either way. I watched it when I get home, but I didn't have a chance to watch. I heard it was a great fight.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Parabéns. Obrigado.
What's up, guys?
Gunnar, over here.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations on your win, mate. Another
Thank
win
you.
in the UK again, which is always nice to see for us. Brian Barberina, he is a very, very tough opponent and made it almost look easy in there. You must be very happy with your performance tonight.
Yeah, I am. I'm very happy. He's a tough guy, and I could tell. I mean, I was having it my way, and I was on top of him on the ground, and he was kind of like poking me a little bit, and I looked at him and I smiled, and he just started laughing, this funniest laugh. And this is the first time I've actually started laughing in the middle of a fight. Like I generally laughed.
Maybe that was part of his game plan to throw you off.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it was fun.
And obviously everyone knows Brian's got very like knockout power sort of thing. So I'm guessing the game plan, as always, Gunnar, we know how fantastic you are on the ground. We knew as soon as you got your hands on him, it was going to be a short night, and obviously you proved that. Was that the game plan going in?
Like, yeah. I mean, the game plan is always to get on top. It's just the smarter way of fighting. If you're on top of somebody, you're winning the fight. So yes, that's always my game plan.
Yeah, and congratulations and pleasure to see you fight again.
From here, obviously, Brian was on this run not too long ago with a lot of these very exciting close fights, and then he ran into RDA, got submitted. Did that kind of lay the blueprint of just how to get Brian out there quickly?
Yeah, definitely. He showed some weakness in Brian's game, but I think Brian he knew that, and I'm sure he was working on them, and I'm sure he was working his wrestling a lot. I actually tried that very trip that RDA got him down with, and he defended it nicely, and I think he was really aware of it because we were like crawling on the cage, like back and forth, and I think he was thinking about it a lot, and then I gave it a little go, and he defended nicely, so. Yeah.
I think it's tomorrow will be a year to the date of your last fight. So obviously a lot of stuff you had cleared up and cleaned up since then. What do you want the rest of your year to look like? Are you maybe hoping to get the Daniel Rodriguez fight rebooked, or are there any other names that you might like?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm not really focused on names or stuff like that. Right now, I'm just gonna go back home and focus on the team and stuff like that, and we'll see.
You might not have names on your mind, but are there dates or months that you maybe want to get back in there? And how many do you want to be active?
Like right now, I don't know. We'll see.
Gunnar, just over here, quick one from me. It wasn't too long ago you were fighting Leon Edwards in London a few years ago, and actually the crowd was cheering you and booing Leon, which was...
Yeah, I felt very bad for Leon. He didn't deserve that, and I think finally now Leon is getting the respect and like the support that he deserves, in my opinion.
Yeah, and today, of course, he will be cheered on. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that main event. How do you think it's going to go?
I'm with Leon all the way. I think Leon is going to get it. I think he didn't look himself. Don't think he performed well in his last fight, and he still cruised through these 3 brutal rounds and was able to get the win in the end with a beautiful knockout. But I could see it like right away in the second round that he wasn't himself. He wasn't the Leon that I normally see and the Leon that I fought, and so I think he's going to be 10 times better. We're going to see a different Leon tonight.
And you fought a few times here now in London. What is it that you love so much about fighting here?
I don't know. I just love the fans. I know it as well, and I'm sure like fighting elsewhere is nice as well. And I've fought in different places, and I've usually enjoyed it. And but I don't know. Yeah, I just know this place, and it's so loud, and there's so much energy here, and like, yeah, I just love it. I don't know what to say.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Gunnar, in the middle here, would you have any interest now in maybe getting one of those UFC Dublin cards back going? And perhaps I saw people on social media saying maybe you and Ian Gary would be a great fight.
Yeah, I mean UFC Dublin was one of the most amazing nights that I've ever had. It was phenomenal, and yeah, that would be awesome to get back in there.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah, you can do that all fucking. Who is?
Justin, first of all, congratulations on a huge win, and it's great to see you fight in the UK as well, mate. It was great.
Yeah, it was awesome. Fans are awesome.
The fight reminded me of the China fight again, you know, just the back and forth, and I just don't understand how he could take your punches. You landed some clean shots. Obviously, you did the same to China. Were you surprised he was able to take so many clean shots from yourself and just keep coming forward?
Not necessarily. I mean, it takes a special person to get in there. And, you know, all the fans, I'm glad that we get to, you know, entertain them. But, you know, most people couldn't walk a day in our shoes. There's no doubt about that.
Completely agree with you. Was part of the game plan the leg kicks that you were throwing a lot? Because they were doing a lot of damage, especially in round one, and he seemed very bothered by it.
Yeah, he was crazy evasive. I really had to put some action behind my leg kicks in order to land those. You know, he's been, I don't know, he's a Muay Thai fighter, right?
Yeah.
He's been fighting Muay Thai his whole life. I've been wrestling my whole life. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy with my performance. I fought a perfect fight. I had to fight a perfect fight versus such a dangerous opponent. And I'm looking forward to watch his future fights.
Obviously, you're a very good stand-up fighter. A good wrestler and a good stand-up fighter. But you know, he's the stand-up fighter. Surely the game plan would have been more the wrestling side of things, which we didn't obviously see. Were you comfortable on the feet with him?
Yeah, 100%. I have the best coach in the world. You control someone's feet, you control their fight. You control the fight. I controlled his feet that entire fight. Had him moving. I wish I would have realized how effective I could have. You know, he started really finding his back foot. And when he did that, I was able to really close the gap, you know, without being in so much danger. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a vet. I've been here for a long time. Watching so many of his fights, you know, I understood that. Once I got to the third round, you know, he would be, number one, tired, and number two, I would be much more successful with my strikes.
Congratulations on your win, man.
Thank you.
Justin, are you itching now to get that rematch with Dustin Poirier on your road to another title shot? Because that was one of the fights of the year. I'm pretty sure it was the fight of the year that year. And you gave a great account of yourself, as you always do. And you're looking to get that win over Poirier.
Yeah, that would be great. You know, I did what I had to do. I fought someone ranked below me. And I 100% believe that I deserve to fight someone ranked in front of me. The loser of the Oliveira and Dariush fight, I'd rather not fight Dariush. I love that dude. I think he's going to beat Oliveira. I fought like a complete idiot when I fought Oliveira, so I would love to have that fight back, but Dustin's just as good as an option.
Stylistically, obviously, when you do come up against Makhachev at some point, whether it's for a title or a contender's bout or whatsoever, how do you feel you match up against him in comparison to your fight with Oliveira?
Yeah, I think he's similar to Khabib, but he's not Khabib. I know that for a fact. You know, for one, he's got finished before. He has a loss. But, yeah, it'll be a really hard fucking fight.
And final one, where did that fight with Fiziev, where did that rank in terms of, I'm guessing you're pretty numb to a pain threshold, but where did that rank in terms of the hardest hitters that you face?
He was one of the fastest, probably second to Michael Johnson. I don't know, man. I was in such control of my emotions in there. I felt nothing. And, yeah, I never really, you know, he hit me really hard. I think it was probably the first round with a big right hand. That one rocked me. But outside that, you know, I just did such a good job at controlling the fight.
Just in the front right here. Obviously, historically, you found a lot of success with your uppercuts and your leg kicks, but in that third round, you were finding a lot of success with your jab. It seemed to throw him off completely. Did you know that leading into this fight, or did you find that in the third round? Because that seems where it kind of, like, you took over.
No, my coach told me. I heard him saying stay on the jab, and then, you know, once I landed the first three, I couldn't believe how clean I was landing. You know, there's different kind of shots that you land in there, and when you feel the full force of the energy go through in direct lines through their head, it's a different shot. And yeah, that's what I was feeling. I was surprised.
I don't know if you saw, but Islam tweeted that he wants to fight Leon in Abu Dhabi in October. So as a lightweight, does that frustrate you that now your champion is now looking at the weight class above him already?
Out of my control.
Obviously fought some of the best strikers in the UFC. I'm curious where Fiziev ranks amongst the guys you've already fought.
I mean, he's impressive. It was impressive, but you know, I fought such a good fight. You know, his body kicks weren't effective. You know, I blocked a lot of those shots with my elbows. My elbows are really swollen right now. Those are going to really hurt tomorrow or for the next 5 or 6 days. But man, the damage that I was able to, he wanted to taste blood. He wanted to taste my blood, but unfortunately, he was drowning in his blood. I'm happy about that.
Obviously, you know, Kamaru, you have a good relationship with him. I'm curious, did you watch the main event and how did you score it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he won the fight, but I'm probably as biased as the judges. Certainly not as biased as Michael Bisping, who shouldn't have been nowhere near a microphone during that fight. Yeah, sucks.
Is that something the UFC needs to look at, like having guys who are friends of the people fighting not commentate?
It's not my call. I just thought it was very unprofessional.
Justin, just over to your right. Firstly, congratulations. I think Daniel Cormier mentioned on commentary that you've been packing on a bit more muscle, and this is actually a fight where this is the most weight you've cut for a fight. Just wanted to know, like, how did that feel, the extra weight? Whilst
Yeah, it felt great. That was a plan since four months ago. I mean, 7 months ago. After I got my nose fixed, I had to wait 14 days before any cardio, and then I started lifting weights twice a week. You know, I felt a couple of these guys, and they're huge. And so I really wanted to get to at least 175 before I stepped in there. And I did do that.
And just a quick word on Rafael Fiziev. I think today was only his 14th MMA fight, so he's still quite young in his MMA career.
Yeah.
After having faced him, do you feel like in the future he can still become a champion in this division?
Yeah, I mean, for one, he has the skills. For two, he has the mindset. You know, it's a crazy game, most violent game in the world. There's more dangerous sports, but not more violent. And I think he's cut from the same cloth as me.
You've had a lot of violent fights in the UFC. On a scale of 0 to 10, where would you rate that one?
I mean, I look pretty good. So I did a good job. I mean, the key is to not get hit. And I did a good job at that. You know, I took a couple shots, I would say 2 or 3 to the head. But yeah, I mean, you know, I prayed multiple times that neither one of us sustained chronic injury. And that's to the head. So that was my plan.
Thank you.
Justin, down here, what did you make of the UK crowd?
I love it. I love that they love fighting. You know, I didn't hear anything when I was in there, but after the fight, in between the rounds, you know, when I was pumping them up, they're super loud. When I came out, first thing I realized or noticed was how loud they were. So I love people that love fights. Yeah.
So you said you didn't hear them at all as you were fighting?
No, I don't hear anything in there. I hear my coach's voice every now and then, but not one thought, nothing.
No, because at one point in time, it almost looked as if like you took a deep breath in and told yourself to calm down, but it's weird hearing you say that you didn't hear them.
No, I was calm. I was so calm. That's exactly how I need to fight.
Thank you.
Justin, just down here. You mentioned in the media day Anderson Silva as being one of your top fighters, you know, as being exciting, and he's just been announced as being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a given. He's a legend. He got most of the fighters that are in here today, he inspired to be here. So, you know, I thought he beat Michael Bisping in this place when they fought. I know he did, but again, he just got the same treatment Kamaru just got.
And the kind of performances that you give every time is one day the hope that you will enter the Hall of Fame in the future?
Yeah, I mean, if I know for a fact some of my fights will be in the Hall of Fame. I got 11 bonuses, 11 fights, 9 in my first 7. Those are things that can never be beaten. maybe the 11-11, but 9-7, that'll never be touched. So I think for specific reasons, I'll be there.
Justin, on the front one, I know you say like things are out of your control, but when they're reading the scorecards and you hear one judge scored it a draw and then one scored it for Fiziev and now it's a majority decision, what's going through your head?
Nobody scored it for Fiziev. It was 29-28, 29-28, and 28-28. The way that he announced it was very weird. He said 29-28 Gaethje, and then he said 29-28 and didn't follow with the name. So I was like, what the fuck's going on? And then I heard 28-28, but I knew that I won that. I wouldn't have done that backflip if I wasn't 99% sure that I won that fight.
Didn't Dana say he didn't want you to do that anymore, jumping off that thing?
No, he loves it.
I think you also said you won't be around that much longer after your next title run. How long has this thought been in your mind, like maybe walking away soon?
It's not been in my mind. It's just fact of the matter. I'm 34 years old. I'm going to take the fights that I need to take to get to the position that I want to be. There's countless examples of reasons not to go longer than you should in this sport. And yeah, I'll probably refuse to do that.
Justin, just to your left. Coming into this one, Rafael said that he thinks that you were going to have to wrestle him to pick up the win. Does it make it a bit more sweeter knowing that you've gone in there and beat him at his own game, really?
Yeah, they called him the best striker in the UFC. My ability to get from point A to point B is second to none. I'm extremely athletic, and I believe in myself. Again, you have to control their feet. I saw a lot of repetitiveness in his fighting style that I thought I would be able to take advantage of. And he was fast. Yeah, but, I really wanted to fight this guy. Ever since he put that video of Conor getting his dick sucked on a boat and referenced that it was me, I really wanted to fuck him up. So I'm glad I got to make his face look like that.
And did you think you'd have to implement more of a wrestling game plan than what you did? Because obviously you landed the one takedown towards the end of the fight, but that was kind of only time that happened.
As I said it before, I wasn't opposed to it. But when I'm finding so much success in the style of fight that's happening, I don't think that you should change. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I felt successful for pretty much the whole fight, so I didn't see any reason to. I tried to take him down in the second, I think it was. Maybe it was the first. I think it was the first. And, he's a strong little bastard. Thank you, guys. Happy to be back here, let me tell you.
Hey guys, the gate was 8.58 million. That's U.S. dollars. The attendance was 17,588, sold out. Highest grossing single night event in arena history. Fight of the night, obviously went to Gaethje and Fiziev. Performance of the night went to Hadley and Gunner. They all won $50,000. So congratulations to them. Go ahead, brother.
I'm curious, obviously, great main event ending for Leon. How did you see the fight and how did you score it?
How did I score the main event?
Yeah.
I really didn't. It was a tough fight to score. I didn't really. I was literally standing in there, not knowing what was going to happen, and then Buffer came over and whispered in my ear.
What did you make of his performance, though? I mean, his takedown defense was incredible.
Hey, Lene, will you come over here? Yeah.
His takedown defense was great. He wouldn't let himself be pressured against the cage. What did you make of Leon's performance overall?
Whose performance?
Leon's.
Yeah. I mean, I expected a lot more wrestling out of Usman than I saw. And when he did try to wrestle, obviously Leon did a great job, especially if you compare it to the first fight.
You just shared a quote from Teddy Atlas saying that when he's always heard trainers say that when a fighter wins a belt, they become 30% better overnight.
Yeah, I just retweeted that. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, I believe it, and I think that there's absolutely a different level of confidence that you have when you win that type of a fight, and I can't even imagine the amount of nerves guys have going into that first fight that you might not feel the second time, and knowing that you have the power and the ability to knock the same opponent out. Plus, you got to look at Usman, who might be a little more gun shy. If you think of all the wars that he's been in with all the great fighters that he's beat, this is the guy who knocks him out.
Do you think Usman was a little bit more gun shy tonight?
Do I think Usman was?
Yeah.
That's what I thought was going to happen going in. I thought he was going to be very gun shy. I thought he was going to be, holding on to those legs all night. He did the exact opposite. He only shot a few times, and he was willing to mix it up in there.
Obviously, we had Colby Covington cage side. He wants to fight Leon in July. I'm curious if that's a fight you're interested in, or do you need to see how it plays out?
Yeah, I don't know when we'll do it, but yeah, that's the fight that makes sense. And Colby came here and cut weight, and did everything to be here for this fight. He deserves the fight.
So it's Leon Edwards.
Not to mention the fact that he's, the second or third best guy in the world.
So it is Leon versus Colby next.
Yeah.
Colby was in here and he said that he flew out here on a day's notice and cut 18 pounds overnight to make weight on Friday. Is that true?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Dana, just talking about the potential return in July that's been discussed. Obviously, Tom Aspinall, he looks like he's been doing a great job presenting on the broadcast tonight, but he wants to return this summer. Marcin Tybura is the guy that's been discussed. Is that a fight that could potentially main event the London show this summer?
I have no idea. Obviously, if Aspinall's ready and we come back to England, we would obviously use him, but we don't have a date for England. I mean, we didn't even know what the hell was going to happen tonight. So, but yeah, it looks like England has a world champion now, and we're going to be doing title fights here more. So
that's great news for the fans, and for yourself as a massive fight fan, you love it over here as well. There's probably going to be some of the biggest nights in UK MMA history on the horizon, even bigger than this tonight now.
I agree, and if you look at that division, there's a lot of great fights to make now if Leon's a champ. And, for people who've never been here, I say it all the time about the fans and the energy and things here, but also, every time you do a fight, it's about a destination. This city has the best hotels, great restaurants. I mean, the shopping is unbelievable. This is such a great place to come if you've never been. Not to mention the history and all the other things that are here. It's a great place. I'm so pumped that we're actually able to, do big title fights here with one of your own.
We really appreciate it as well. I don't know if you saw it during the week, but Conor said, London was potentially discussed for the Chandler fight, and he obviously pitched Croke Park in Dublin as well, which the logistics of that have always been difficult, hasn't it? Is that something that you think, before Conor's career is over, he's going to have to main event in Dublin again with the star power he's got now?
Well, obviously when Conor was the champ and the double champ, I mean, I wanted to do Croke Park so bad, but logistically it never worked out for us. We couldn't we couldn't get them to work with us to, they closed the subways down at a certain time that wouldn't have worked. And obviously we'd love to come back to Dublin too, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't even know when he's going to fight yet. And his next fight definitely wouldn't be in Ireland.
Dana, just over here.
Yep, hi.
I know you said that Colby would be next for Leon, but I'm wondering if you saw that Islam Makhachev said that he would like to fight Leon in Abu Dhabi. I just wondered what your thoughts were on that.
Islam said that he wants to fight Leon in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, Colby's next. Yeah, Colby's next.
And I know you spoke about...
We're going back to Abu Dhabi October 21st, but it definitely won't be Colby. I mean, it won't be Leon.
And you mentioned about, business here in London with Leon being champion. What does that do? We see the reaction that the fans had with the chants, the headshot. Can you talk a little bit about what that does for business here in the UK, having Leon as champion? Yeah,
like I was just saying to him, it's huge. This is a great destination for people who've never been here before. It's an incredible city with more than just coming for the fight. There's so much you can do here in London. You can fly in on a Thursday with your family or however you want to do it and have an incredible weekend here. It's one of the greatest cities on earth. And the weather isn't always great, but you can tough through it. But this city's amazing, and to have a champion here now is fun. We'll do some big fights here.
Do you see, sorry, last one from me, do you see London as being a regular pay-per-view destination for you in the future?
London being a regular pay-per-view destination?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if the champ fights 3 times a year, and we do them over here in London, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, realistically, when you think about it, we'd want to come over here, especially since COVID and everything that's been going on. You want to come over here as much as we possibly can. And you got to imagine if we did a fight in Vegas with them, give a lot of people from England an opportunity to go over to Vegas too. So.
Dana, over here.
Yeah.
Just want to say thanks again for coming to the UK. Great show again. The last time you were in attendance, so not the last show, the one before that, when you were here, you struggled to pick a fight. You struggled to pick a fight of the night. You ended up giving everyone a bonus. Did you struggle again tonight to work out who was the performance of the night?
Did you struggle to figure out who should get the bonus tonight?
No, it was pretty easy. Pretty easy to figure out tonight, yeah.
And also, Edward's coming out of Team Renegade, his gym. He's got Jake Hadley, Jai Herbert, and Arnold Allen obviously fighting soon. Does that really show how forward the UK has come, in the level of competition we can now offer against around the world? So, Leon Edwards.
How far England has come in the MMA world? Yeah. I mean, if you look, I think the first time we came over here was like 2002. And there was like one jiu-jitsu school over here. But if you look at the amount of talent since then that's come out of this region, not just this country, but yeah, it just keeps getting better and better and bigger and bigger. And again, it's like when we came over here to Manchester with Michael Bisping. That really started the whole explosion over here. And now that you have a champ who has defended the title, we're bringing big title fights over here now. It's a huge game changer for the UK.
And would you go anywhere else in the UK location-wise, or is London going to be your main pay-per-view location?
I've had this debate with people are always asking me, why don't you go here, why don't you go there? Yeah, the answer is yes. I don't know, we just have to figure it out. It's just something that we have to get in the office and look at and figure out. I mean, the O2 has been great to us, and London is a great city to hold fights, and, I don't know. We'll see, but the answer is yes. And even if we didn't take Edwards somewhere else, we'd do fight nights, all across England. But yeah, we're going to start traveling again here. Get out of the Apex. The Apex is getting a little too cozy. We got to start getting out there and traveling again.
Fantastic. Really appreciate you coming back.
Hey, Dana.
Thank you.
Far right.
Yep.
Hey.
Hey.
The O2, the lights went out for a few seconds. Do you know what went on there?
I have no clue. Some production shit.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to ask you about the point deduction for Leon. What were your thoughts? Did you agree with it?
Yeah. I mean, that was a blatant fence grab that stopped the takedown. You got to do it. especially when you look at stylistically how that fight goes. Usman's thing is to wrestle and take him down, and obviously, Leon wants to stand up, and he had to take that point.
Were you happy to see that? Because it's kind of been an argument in past fights that it hasn't been removed, like points don't get taken off of French scraps. So are you happy to see that action be taken right away?
Was I happy to see it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if I was happy to see it, but I'd rather there's no fouls and no points taken. I don't ever like to see a guy in such an important fight lose a point, but you can't blatantly grab the fence the way that he did.
Yeah, and one final one. What do you think is next for Kamaru Usman?
What's next for Usman? I don't know. He's got it's one of those things where he goes home and spends some time with his family and get his head clear and then let us know what he's thinking next. It's not really what we're thinking. What is he thinking?
Thank you.
Yep.
Dana down here, picking back off the question about traveling back to the UK. Traveling in the UK, sorry. Michael Bisping had his title defense in Manchester. Darren Till fought in Liverpool. Do you think that after this, Leon deserves the opportunity to fight in front of his crowd in Birmingham?
Birmingham, is that the question? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the arena situation over in Birmingham. What is it? Do you know it?
No, it's the NEC Arena. You guys went there, I think it was UFC 138.
How big is it?
I think it can hold like 12,000 people.
Yeah. All this shit's a blur to me. You know what I mean? I do this every Saturday night, so I don't know. The answer is yes. I mean, we would absolutely, positively look at it, and just something we got to figure out.
And I know that you pretty much confirmed that Colby's going to get the next shot, but if Jorge Masvidal was to do something spectacular against Gilbert Burns, would you be willing to give him the title shot, given the history that he has with Leon?
Colby gets the next shot, no matter what happens.
Dana, just in front of you here. I wanted to ask, during the week, there was a little bit of controversy, maybe because you weren't looking for controversy with this Conor McGregor thing with the USADA situation. He's come out and he said that USADA is going to be fired, that perhaps there won't be any USADA with the UFC. What's the latest on that?
Conor said that USADA is going to be fired, so he was trying to ask the latest on that.
So what's your question?
What's the latest with USADA? Are you going to maintain this relationship that you've got with them?
Have you ever heard of Jeff Novinsky?
Yeah.
Ask him these questions. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff anymore. That's his problem. I don't get involved in the drug testing situation whatsoever. I know nothing about it, and I don't want to know nothing about it. I leave it to the expert. He's the expert in this thing, and you guys call him and interview him anytime about it.
It seems pretty important, though. I mean, this is your biggest star who's coming back after 2 years out. This seems like the only thing in the way of it happening. He's ready to go. He could probably fight tomorrow if he wanted to, Conor, right? And Michael Chandler certainly as well. This seems like the only stumbling block you guys have left.
Yeah, I mean, Conor coming back and coaching the Ultimate Fighter was like a step toward coming back. He was telling me Monday that it felt good to be there again, felt good to be in the gym with other guys, felt good to train, felt good to be in Vegas, all that stuff. I think it's, I don't know if Conor's not ready to come back and fight tomorrow, but the Ultimate Fighter was a big step in that direction and getting him back and getting him mentally and probably emotionally ready to start training and get back to camp.
By the way, actually, you're a big boxing guy. Can you believe they haven't made this Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk fight yet?
Can I believe that what hasn't happened?
Fury and Usyk.
Usyk and Fury. Yeah, it's scheduled though, right? Isn't? No, never happened. Welcome to boxing, boys. I mean, is it shocking? Yes. Is it shocking? No. I mean, it's just, that is boxing. It's just the way that sport always seems to play out. The big fights that should happen never happen, and when they do, it's always late. And that's the stuff that used to drive me crazy as a fan, and it's literally part of how I designed this company to not be. We try to make the big fights when it's time to make the big fights. And I mean, think about this. Tonight on the prelims, you saw 11-0 versus 10-0 on the prelims. When's the last time you watched any show with any organization anywhere where and that fight was technically incredible, right? You don't see that stuff ever, except here.
Dana,
and that's by design.
Hi, Dana, just over here. 1 year ago, I asked you, are UK fans the best in the world? And you said, if you've never watched a fight here, you need to definitely come here and watch one. So I wanted to ask you, how did the atmosphere today compare to the atmosphere to other fights you've been at?
Yeah, well, there's great atmospheres. You got Australia, which...
Sorry, I mean, how did the atmosphere in the UK today compare to all the other fights in the UK that you've been at?
Yeah, no, it's always awesome. I mean, I don't know if I could compare it. I mean, this place is always, from the first fight of the night to the main event, you know, it could be one of your own fighting for the title or, you know, two guys from anywhere. And this place is always fired up, excited. You know, I love the chanting. I love the, you know, that seems like it's almost scripted, you know, how everybody just picks up the same thing and starts chanting it. Half the time, I don't even know what the hell they're saying, but they do. It's pretty fascinating. It's a fun place to come watch a fight. And I know a lot of people personally who flew out here for this fight to check it out.
And you did mention that you're going back to Abu Dhabi in October. Is it safe to say that Islam Makhachev will be headlining that card?
That who would be? Islam? It's possible. We don't have anything done yet. We haven't even talked to Islam about it yet, so.
And I know you may say it's possible to this next question as well, but Beneil Dariush and Charles Oliveira, would the winner of that be facing Islam Makhachev?
The winner of Beneil and Oliveira, will they be fighting Islam Makhachev?
I don't know yet.
And just a final one from me. I think in the last week or so, there was some reports that Alex will be defending against Yair Rodriguez. I think is targeted for International Fight Week. Are you able to confirm that maybe that is the plan?
Who is it? Shit, I don't know. But those two are definitely fighting. I don't know when it will be, though.
And just a final, very light-hearted question. One more thing you said last...
But if it was finalized, we would have announced it. You know what I mean?
One more thing you said to me last year, one thing you love about coming to England is you love the Asian/Indian food. So have you had time to have a good curry?
Gymkhana last night. Yes, it was incredible. It's amazing. Yeah. The Indian food here is next level.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Dana, just wanted to ask where we're at just there. Where are we at with Paddy Pimblett's return and when can we see Paddy back?
Yeah, possibly in October.
Do you miss him on nights like this and in pay-per-views in general? And do you still think he's a bigger draw as he was in December?
Do I think?
Do you miss him on nights like this, and do you still think he's just as big of a draw as he did in December?
I mean, we have a lot of guys that you know, depending on where you take them, that are exciting and fun. But Paddy's awesome and always fun to have on a card. Yeah, I guess the answer is yes to your question. Yeah, thank you.
Just a quick one here.
Yeah.
Just wanted to get your thoughts on Anderson Silva being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Anderson Silva being inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight.
Yeah. I mean, he's one of the greatest of all time. And, yeah. Finally, I mean, he should be. We invited him out, but he couldn't make it. We wanted him to be here for it, but he couldn't make it tonight.
Dana, one more.
Dana, hi,
Go ahead, brother.
When Justin was in here earlier, he was saying that he's fought Fiziev, who was behind him in the rankings. He now should fight in front of him in the rankings. Is that how you see that going? Do you think he'll fight someone in front of him in the rankings next? And the only guy that isn't booked, I believe, is Dustin Poirier. Would that make sense? And is there any idea of what's going on for Dustin next? Do you want me to say that again? It was a long question. Should Gaethje be fighting someone in front of him in the rankings? And if so, should it be Poirier?
Gaethje? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, tonight he fought a tough fight, close fight, and I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I understand what you're asking me. It puts him in like a weird position tonight. Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know. This is, you know, a lot of these questions. We go home. And Tuesday, we get back in the matchmaking room and we start kicking ideas around. But
the problem is the fans are all excited now, Dana. We want to know now.
I hear you.
Well, the other thing is, I think Joanne Wood, she said in the media day that I think she's got this fight and then only one more fight on her contract. Does a win tonight mean that contract negotiations could start up with her again?
Yeah, we love her. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get something done with her. Yeah, she's awesome to have around. And the answer is yes. Hell yes.
Great.
We'll get a new deal done with JoJo. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Dana, one more question from me. Are we going to see the Power Slap in the UK? Because I love that show, man. Are we going to see Power Slap come to the UK?
My man. It's fascinating you asked me that because the numbers were, it's baffling. It's funny because it's unbelievable and baffling, but at the same time, when I looked at this thing back in 18 and it had 350 million views coming out of, with the production value that it had and everything else, my big question was what would happen if it was done right, and we found out. And then tonight, Frank, who is the president of the company, hit me up and said that he's been fielding international calls over the last several days. So, a lot of people were shitting on this thing. Watch what we do with this thing in the next 2 years. And the answer to your question is yes. What we're doing now is we're going out and, getting this thing sanctioned everywhere. And I'm going to tell you right now, you can ask anybody, if you know anybody personally that was at the live event that night, it was fucking unbelievable. It was so much fun. It was crazy. So, yeah, I'm actually I'm excited about this thing. I haven't been like this fired up since like 2008 or something. So, yes, I'm excited about it.
If you need a matchmaker, let me know. I've got lots of guys interested.
I got it, all right. I might hit you up on that. We actually have a matchmaker. Her name's Erica. It's a woman, actually, who's the matchmaker for it. Yeah. But thank you.
Dana, over here.
Yeah.
The first question is, you said that Colby is next for Leon Edwards. So where does this situation put Belal Muhammad? He's on a great win streak. He's been complaining that Colby is ducking him. So what do you think about his position right now?
You know you got a bad accent when my translator doesn't know what you said.
No, I have a bad accident, yeah.
What's next for Belal? Where's Hunter? Who's Belal fighting? I forgot. Huh? Yeah. Rachmanov. We're working on it.
And I'm speaking about a longer perspective, like 5-10 years. You said that now Britain has a champion and you can hold pay-per-view events. What about having pay-per-view events in England even without British champion, with that kind of fans?
What do you think about having pay-per-view events in England without even a champion fight on it? Just having big fights here.
I think that's a really bad idea. Yeah. You do fight nights and they're not paid. Listen, times are tough right now, and we do like anywhere from 12 to 14 pay-per-views a year. To try to do pay-per-views. Do you work for ESPN?
No, not.
Okay. Yeah, it's tough to do to people. That won't happen. Not while I'm here, anyway.
Okay, and the last one from me. Every time you come to Europe, the reception is great. The last year's Paris was one of the best year's event. So do you have any specific plans for this year for a new location or maybe some location in Europe that weren't used in many years, like Sweden, Poland, Czech Republic?
Do you have any new locations in Europe that you plan on going to this year?
Yeah, so I did a scrum yesterday. I was telling everybody that we have fights booked up until June right now. And on the, you know how the war room is laid out. I'm sure you've seen it online or whatever, but it'll tell the date and then where it is. And when it tells where it is, we have like 5 or 6 locations written on all the boards. So we're still kind of working on where we're going. But like I've said many times, we're ready to travel. And we're going to go to places that are easy to do business and cities that are destinations. Last year, every event was a sellout. We sold out every event last year. And with the exception of Brazil this year, every gate has been like a Madison Square Garden type gate. So, the fact that we're getting back out there and hitting these locations that we haven't been to in a long time, it's probably going to take us 3 years to hit all the places, that we've been in the past. So it's not anything that's going to really happen this year. We'll hit all these big destinations, but over the next 3 years we will. unless the world loses its mind again or something. I don't know.
Thank you. And
Thank
sorry
you.
for the accent.
What do you say?
Sorry for the accent, yeah.
Are you fucking with me now?
That was fucking perfect.
Thank you.
Dana down here. When I spoke to you last year, you said that getting to Africa was one of your bucket list things and one of your main priorities.
Africa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that still the case now that you no longer have African champions?
Yeah. No, listen, it's great if we have African champions, but that's not the reason we would go there anyway. It will happen before I retire. Two things will happen before I retire. We will do a fight, at least one fight in Africa, and there will be a PI in Africa before I'm done here.
Fair enough. And I think earlier this week it was reported that you confirmed that Khamzat Chimaev will be going up to middleweight. Do you guys have any fights on the radar for him that you're potentially thinking, and where in the rankings would he jump in at?
Khamzat? Yeah. Probably October.
Thank you.
Dana, recently you've been doing some videos where you make like announcements. I was just wondering when you're going to release the next one.
When I get home. When I get home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little teaser there for us.
Yeah. Probably next week. Yeah.
Just a quick one in here. Was it nice to meet your new business partner, KSI, tonight?
Was it nice to meet KSI tonight?
I've known KSI for a while. Yeah. I didn't meet him tonight. I met him a few years. Yeah. He came over to headquarters a few years ago before any of this craziness and played video games with us and did some stuff like that. Yeah. No, I've known him for a few years. He's a great kid.
Happy to be in business with him?
Did I what? Yeah. No, he's a great kid. I like him a lot. Yeah. I was happy to see him come out tonight. You done with me? Yes, sir.
Hi, Dana. I'm sorry for my English. I would like to ask you, if possible, with only this year, in 2023, is possible that UFC came to Spain?
2023, could we go to Spain? Yeah, so it's interesting that you asked me that question. You know, Spain is obviously a place that we'd love to go, and Italy is another spot that we would like to hit too. But like I was saying to the gentleman in the back, it's probably going to be like a 3-year process as we start to, it's funny because 44 events a year used to seem like a lot until you take a few years off from traveling around the world, and then you got to go back and hit all those spots again. But it's going to take like a 3-year process. But the answer to your question is yes. Spain and Italy we'd love to go to too, just like we would love to do a fight in Africa.
Okay. We will wait in Spain as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Was that a question? What did he say? You have no idea?
Huh? He just told you hurry up. Yeah. He said hurry up. Hurry up, come to Spain.
Yeah. Okay. I'm on it. Thanks a lot, you guys. Have a great night.
Leon. How you doing? Congratulations. Winning the title is obviously an incredible, special thing. What does it feel like to retain it, and especially to do it here on home soil?
It's amazing. You know, it's like every kid dream to be able to live this moment out. And I said it all week. I truly believe that this is my era. You know, it's been a long time. I haven't lost a fight. 7, 8 years. You know, so be able to come back to my hometown, defend my world title, have the crowd going as crazy as they've been going all week. Press conference, the weigh-ins, screaming that headshot. Like it was madness. You know, and it's like I said, a dream come true.
First one ended in a knockout, and I know Kamaru in the lead up to the fight was talking about dominating rounds leading up to that. How satisfying is it to actually win it on the scorecards this time and actually be winning that amount of rounds against him in the fight rather than it being just a one-shot deal?
I think just proved that how much I've improved, right, over the years. I wasn't able to show my performance in Utah because altitude. I think that showed now that attitude played a big part in my performance, you know. And yeah, but like I said, Kamaru's a tough opponent. He got a great team behind him. But it's true, like I said, believe it's my time.
And how does it feel? It was just a few years ago you walked out at the O2 to face Gunnar Nelson, and it felt like the crowd were more with Gunny than they were with you. And you've seen other fighters from the UK promoted above you in your weight class in the past. This was your night, main event, world champion, in front of all those fans. How much did this occasion and this whole week mean to you?
Meant the world, you know, meant the world to me, and to be able to overcome so much in my career, you know. I took the hardest road to get here, you know, and I feel like you all know that I took the longest road to get here, and so to be able to now finally earn my respect the hard way, no one gave me nothing. It's even more satisfying for me, for my team, to believe in my team, believe in the UK mixed martial arts and what we're doing, you know, so it's definitely more satisfying for sure.
Last one from me. Dana was just up here and he said it's definitely going to be Colby for you next. Give us your thoughts on that.
I don't know how that makes sense, you know. Yeah, fought for over a year and a half, sat out, not injured. I just don't get how he just slides in for the world title shot when there's other guys in the division that's been active, been fighting, didn't sit out. So yeah, like I said, I'm the king now. I've earned my way, you know. So I feel like I should decide who's next, you know. So yeah.
In front of you, right here. In terms of your game plan, obviously in the second fight, you said the altitude played a big factor, but it seems like you were on your back against the fence quite a bit. You found yourself in that situation here, but you successfully defended the takedown. So how much of this camp was just working on getting off the fence and keeping him off you against the fence?
I got a great, like I said, team behind me, great wrestling coach, Camby, and that we drilled. We know that once you get his arms locked, he's effective with his takedowns, and also the game plan was just not letting him lock his hands together to secure the single leg or double leg. And I know once he did that, then the fight would be mine, you know.
Colby, after the fight, said that after he watched the first round, he said it seems like Usman coming out southpaw frustrated you, or you couldn't figure it out. How true is that?
Not true at all. You know, I think I came orthodox. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it is what it is.
And you didn't seem to throw many punches. It was very kick heavy. Was that the game plan coming in?
Yeah, I was attacking his legs, attacking his body. I know he would have been worried about the kicks, right? Because of what happened in the last fight. So I was trying to use my kicks to set up my hands, to bring his hands down, to be able to land the head kick. But fair play to him and his team for working again, get a great game plan, and him being disciplined all the way through the fight. For me, not landing a clean head kick, you know.
Final one for me. What did you make of the point deduction for the fence grab? Like, it seems like you didn't quite know what was happening until Turbine was like watching the replay.
I thought I should have got a warning at least, like a final, like this is a final warning, you know. But we just took the point straight away, and but yeah, here's what it is.
Leon, what is your relationship with Kamaru? Like, you didn't touch gloves at the beginning of the fight. You guys are kind of talking to each other in between rounds, but there does also seem to be a lot of mutual respect. I'm curious what your attitude is towards him. Is there a beef, or is it just like competitive?
Just competitive, you know. Like I said, I wish him well in whatever he chooses to do next. You know, there was never no beef between me and Kamaru. I feel both just thought we was the better man, and that was it. You know, you heard his words after the fight, and I feel the same way. You know, like I said, I wish him well. The sport is hard. So, yeah, respect to him.
He also said that you'll see him again. Do you think there's any world where you'll fight him again?
Probably not. Probably not. It's been 3 fights now, you know. So I want to move forward in my career. So yeah, I'll look towards more different fights, you know.
In regards to Colby, you know, you said, oh, it doesn't make much sense because, you know, he's been out and his record is like whatever. But for you as the champion that's getting pay-per-view points, is he not the guy that's going to make you the most money?
If you're going pay-per-view wise, I'll probably go, if Masvidal beat Burns, that's the fight to make, if you're going pay-per-view wise. But I just don't see how Colby just sits out for a year, not injured, and then just sliding for a title shot. When I had to work my 12 fights to get there, you know, and when I was trying to get my title shot, they're always like you're saying, who is he? And I don't know who he is. And now I'm the king. Now they're saying, he's allowed to just jump the line and just jump straight in. But like I said, I'm the king now. I'll decide who's next.
So if Masvidal wins in Miami, for you, that's the one that makes most sense?
Yeah, I just don't like him, you know, so I feel like that's the one that I need to get back. I feel like there's a storyline there to tell. So yeah, if he gets the job done, like I said, I'll have a look, I'll consider it, and if he begs me, then I might let him slide in, you know.
And someone who you've never really considered is Bilal Muhammad. Dana White was just up here saying they're going to do him versus Shavkat next. I'm curious if your thoughts on that fight.
It's a good fight. It's a good fight, you know. But like I said, for example, Bilal Muhammad, he's been like fighting, you know. Colby hasn't been fighting, and he's still competing, you know. So yeah, like I don't care who wins out them two, and that's it.
Leon, just over here. Here, you're right. You briefly spoke about it just now. You spoke about your coach, Camby. I think he's at the back somewhere. A big story of this fight was that even when Kamaru took you down, you were able to quickly get back up, and a lot of that is down to your wrestling coach, Camby. He actually posted something earlier this week on Instagram, which I thought was quite nice. He said, Fearless literally started in a hut, on the smallest amateur shows, now to main events with UFC world champions. Follow your dreams, praise to God. How important has Camby been in the last 7 to 8 years as your evolution as a fighter?
It's been important, you know. I think mixed martial arts, my whole team, not just Camby, you know. I got a massive team behind me that support me. That even when I was going through my rough patches, they kept me in the gym. They called me up, make sure I'm training. I'm not feeling sorry for myself, you know. So I gotta give congrats to my team, my conditioning coach, my boxing coach, my jiu-jitsu coach, Dave, Henry, everyone, you know, and Brad, everybody, you know. And like I said, mixed martial arts is only getting bigger and bigger in the UK. You know, look at tonight, like the crowd was crazy, you know. So yeah, just I feel like the next 5 years for the UK mixed martial arts is gonna be crazy.
When you won the title in August, there was a beautiful moment where we saw you speaking to your mum and your son after. Yeah. Was there another beautiful moment?
Yeah, I called her straight away again. I'm like a mommy's boy, you know. Yeah, I was excited. There was no crying this time. But yeah, she was just excited. And they're all at the gym, at Renegade, actually. My mom, my little brothers, everyone, they're all there, you know. So yeah, it was good.
You said you wanted to try and see if you can get someone to walk you out for your entrance. I don't think it was meant to be Dexter Daps, but I know you came out to Dexter Daps. Yeah. But he was on tour this week. Was there any thought in your mind maybe you can try and get him?
Yeah, I tried to get it done, but I think it was too late, you know. Before, when I knew he was in the UK, it was too late to clear it with the UFC, but it would have been amazing to represent the country I was born in, Jamaica, you know, and have him walk me out, but either way, the music was banging and it was a good night.
And just final one from me. Is there going to be a party at Sweet Kitchen Takeaway tomorrow?
100%. Get that jerk chicken in you, you know, get fat again. So that's my next plan for tomorrow.
Congratulations. This was your first fight week going in as the defending champ. All the media, all the spotlight on you. And you look like you absolutely embraced it and loved it at the press conference. You loved it on fight night. This has been what you've been working towards your whole career. How has it been now, upon reflection? You've still got the belt, and Dana's talking about you defending the belt 3 times in the UK this year as well.
That was sick. It just proved to my belief, you know, and like I said, it was a hard road to get here, you know, so now to be able to enjoy these moments with the UK fans, with my team, defending my world title at home, it means the world to me, you know. I feel like this is every kid's dream. If you could say to a kid, what would be a dream scenario, it would be this, you know. So to be able to have it happening right now at 31 years old, after going through such a rough patch in my career, it only make a bit more icing on the cake, you know, for me. And yeah, it's good.
Are you just seeing dollar signs now? Because obviously Covington's been mentioned, Masvidal's been mentioned, but probably above them, obviously if McGregor gets through Michael Chandler, he's said that he wants a shot at the welterweight champ.
Yeah.
That's the most dollar signs you'll probably see in the fight game, a McGregor fight night with the title on the line. Is that something that you're eyeing up?
Like I said, anyone can get it, you know, like, prove your case in the division and I'll give you a title shot. You know, I want to be an active champion. I'm only young, you know, so I want to be fighting, and if you prove the case, then I'll fight you, you know, and that's it.
Congratulations.
Leon, love it. First of all, Team Renegade are taking over, man. I mean, you've got yourself as a champion. Look at Jake Hadley tonight.
Yeah.
Jai, he won that fight.
Yeah, I thought he won the fight.
You know what I mean? Tom Breeze killing it, your brother killing it.
Yeah.
You know, what's the water you're drinking in that gym, man? Because it's something special. And I've seen a lot of your amateurs compete at Golden Ticket and stuff like that. What's coming out of that gym?
I feel like just confidence breeds confidence, right? Like me achieving this goal, it always ricochet down into the people like Tom Breeze, my brother, and everyone, that they can also achieve it. You know, when I was coming up, there was hardly anyone to look to be like, oh, he's done it, so I can do it, you know. So I think confidence breeds confidence, and that's what you're getting in Birmingham, in the Renegade, you know, and amateurs are feeding it, everyone's feeling it, you know, so we're only growing and getting better and better.
And I'm sure they all treat you the same at Renegade, but you are the champ when you walk in there with the belt. I saw them all celebrating. I've spoken to a lot of them as well since, man. And I know you're not tend to be a big-headed man. You've got to think, I'm the man now.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like I said, I've earned it, you know, so I'm going to enjoy it. You know, no one gave me nothing. I had to fight tooth and nail to get here, you know, and so I'm going to enjoy every moment of it, financially and just the praises of it, you know. So, but as long as I stay focused, I truly believe I can go down as one of the best welterweights of all time, you know, and that is my aim. So yeah, I'll keep focused, keep working on my team. Stay believing in my team, and we're going to achieve it, you know.
Yeah, last one from me, and just, as you said, you're only 31 years old, mate. You know, 31 years old, you're still technically in your prime, you know, and you've got more and more to grow. And everyone back here was talking about the Covington fight. Colby come back here was probably, you know, motivating everyone thinking, yeah, that's the fight. But now you've said the Masvidal fight. If he wins that, there is history there, isn't there? And that is the fight to make.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's a storyline for that fight, right? I think with the Kobe fight, there's literally no storylines. You got sat out for a year and then slid into a title shot. It is like weird, you know.
Dana, and we actually mentioned to Dana about, is it time we took it to Birmingham? That's the one, is it?
Yeah, that would be good. I just mentioned it to him as well. As I was walking out, he says we'll sit down and we'll figure out what's next, you know. But like I said, I just want to represent the UK in a positive light, represent mixed martial arts in the UK and just grow the sport, you know. And it's growing. Like I said, look at the fans tonight, look at the people celebrating us. And so, yeah, if we come back 3 times this year, I'll definitely be a headline again.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Leon, down to your left. There's an old saying in combat sports that you're not really the champion until you defend the belt. Do you feel more of a champion now that you've defended the belt, especially in front of loved ones and UK family?
No, I feel like I'm a champion anyway, you know, just somewhat I've overcome, you know, in life. I said all the time that the belt belongs to nobody, you know, it doesn't make or break me, you know. I've went through the thick and thin and feel that is what made me be able to seize these moments. You know, when I was walking out, I was calm. I felt like I belonged there. You know, and I feel like my life, my journey that I took helped me to prepare for these moments. You know, and I truly believe this is my time now.
And you touched on your time there and like your reign in the era of the welterweight division. How do you foresee it being when it's all said and done? How does the Leon Edwards welterweight era end?
Just retired on top. You know, from a kid born in Jamaica with nothing. My dad was involved in gang crimes, single mom, raised me since I was 13 years old. It's going to be a great story to tell, you know, and to be able to make my son proud of me and what I'm doing. And like I said, it means the world to me, you know.
You caught Usman with a couple of head kicks. Were you surprised that he took them as well, given obviously how the last fight ended?
Yeah. Because I know him and his team would be working the defense to it, you know, because I kind of like told him the reason why I caught him with head kicks. I knew they'd be working the defense to it. This is why I was attacking the legs, attacking the body, trying to get his arm to drop a bit lower. But yeah, fair play to him for taking the shot. He's a tough champion. You know, he had a good run in the division, and I wish him well in whatever he wants to do next. You know.
And I know you said that anybody can get it. Islam Makhachev said that he wants to see you in Abu Dhabi in October.
Anybody can get it, like I said.
Leon, far right. Hey. Congratulations. You had said in the lead up to the fight that Kamaru would be affected mentally by the head kick knockout. Did you feel he was tentative at all when you were in there with him?
Yeah, for sure. Like, he was pressuring well, but it wasn't throwing much. He didn't want to open himself up much, you know, to be countered. And but like I said, fair play to him for being able to come back and do as well as he did in the fight, you know. And I got no ill will towards Kamaru. You know, you heard his words after the fight in Octagon, and I feel the same way. You know, I think it's just a sport which me and him believe that we're the whoever is better, and that was it. You know, and like I said, I wish him well with his daughter, with his family, and whatever he wants to do next. You know.
And another thing you talked about was the altitude in the second fight. He came out wrestling as well. A lot of people talked about how his wrestling pressure seems to break people anyway. So what did you make kind of his game plan when it came to the wrestling?
I think it showed, right? He wasn't able to hold him against the cage. He more leans on you than attack takedowns, just to try to drain you, you know. I know once we didn't let him lock his hands together, I'll be able to stay on my feet and turn him and defend a takedown, you know. But yeah, that was it.
Thank you.
Leon, I know you've touched on it a little. I know you've touched on it a little bit there on how much it would mean to you to headline in Birmingham. But how much would it mean to you to maybe do a stadium show at somewhere like Villa Park as the first UK stadium show?
Oh, that'd be madness, you know. But I spoke to the UFC already, and they're saying they don't want to do a stadium show because the viewing for the fans is not the best, you know. But I think just do it anyway, just to make history. You know, I feel like you'll be able to sold out easy. Like, look how quick this sell out, you know. So hopefully we can get that in the UK because, like I said, mixed martial is growing. The fans are excited for it. So I feel we should keep feeding them and keep bringing big shows to the UK to promote mixed martial arts here, you know.
Leon, just here. I know you said that you had no ill will towards Kamaru, and it's just business at the end of the day. When it comes to Masvidal, what's that relationship like? And would you be able to keep composed if you did have a fight with him because there's that much hatred there?
Yeah, for him, I just don't like him. I think he's a weirdo, so I don't know. I don't know what to say about him, you know. The only reason I'll give him the shot is because I don't like him.
I mean, how do you think a fight with him would go? Do you think he actually styles up with you, or do you just...
Nah, I think it'd be an easy fight for me, you know, and that's it.
Any reason why he's a weirdo?
He's just a weirdo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you hear the crowd chanting headshot?
Headshot, yeah.
Was it in any way distracting? Was it making you go, oh, I should do it now? Was it easy to stay in the game plan even though the crowd was, you know, chanting for the headshot?
Yeah, 100%, because me and my team, we just talked, not letting the moment get over me, you know, don't let the crowd influence you too much. But after when I grabbed the mic and they were screaming it, like I said, this gave me goosebumps to be able to have that reaction from the crowd, from the hometown show. And yeah, it was a mad night, and I look forward to watching the video back just to be able to see, like, I can't remember walking out, you know, so I want to be able to see the walk out and just enjoy it, you know.
And is there any point in defending the belt anywhere other than the UK? I know obviously Birmingham, but Dana's mentioned London, all that stuff. Would you entertain defences outside the UK, or are you just like, it just makes sense to be here all the time for your defences?
Nah, I'll fight. Look at my career, you know, I fight all over the world. Singapore, I fought everywhere, Brazil. So, like, for me, it makes no difference, you know. I'll defeat anybody. Octagon is the same, right? Anywhere we go, so I'll fight anywhere. But if you come back to the UK, that'd be my number one priority, you know, to headline, keep growing the sport here in the UK, keep entertaining the fans. So that'd be my number one pick if I had to choose. Thank you.
Hey, he's not gonna take pictures. Leo. You can take pictures.
Única, ha sido una grandísima pelea en la que has trabajado.
Sabes, es lo que amo hacer y poder estar aquí de nuevo time to put all this energy into me. I'm going to give it my all.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Veronica?
Verónica, ha sido una grandísima pelea en la que has trabajado muy bien el suelo y además era una victoria que necesitaba. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Bueno, muy bien, como puedes pensar, ha sido 3 años trabajando duro y 3 años de venir de una lesión bastante fuerte. No pensé que iba a poder pelear de nuevo, ni siquiera sabía si iba a estar bien día a día. Entonces de ahí a poder solo regresar al octágono fue una gran victoria para mí porque, sabes, es lo que amo hacer y poder estar aquí de nuevo es un placer.
Te hemos visto venir cojeando. Es tu segunda victoria en UFC, pero me imagino que cuando la afrontes estoy seguro que vas a ir a por todas ya por la tercera para afianzar si cabe un poco más tu presencia en la Liga de las Ligas, UFC.
Sí, no, por supuesto. O sea, ahorita me siento mejor, no tengo ninguna lesión mala, ¿no? Un poquito raspada las rodillas, pero eso pasa cuando vas por los derribos. Pero ya después de 3 años afuera quiero seguir peleando un poquito más a menudo, ¿sabes? Ese tiempo no es algo que yo quería, sino fue por lesiones y de una pelea a otra siempre he tenido un poquito de mala suerte, pero pienso porque no he estado en un lugar fijo donde, ¿sabes? Me cuidan y pueden llevarme paso a paso, poco a poco a la próxima pelea. Entonces, ojalá en julio creo que van a volver, ojalá esté yo en esta cartelera.
My last question, la última pregunta para ti por mi parte. ¿Qué le dices al pueblo venezolano? Que estará muy orgulloso de la victoria de su representante.
Es difícil decirlo sin ponerme a llorar, ¿no? Pero muchas gracias, ¿sabes? Siempre me han apoyado en las buenas, en las malas, han seguido ahí y esta semana lo sentí bastante, sentí como el apoyo me llenó el corazón de amor, entonces gracias.
I know you answered a couple of this in Spanish, but I'll ask in English. So after several years away, I guess, what are the emotions now coming into the big betting underdog? You were even the underdog after the first round in the live betting, but so what are the emotions now?
Yeah, they said I didn't have much cardio, so no, I'm just grateful to be here, man. It's been 3 years, and I've looked at the sport, and I've looked at other people training and fighting, and looked at them do it, and I just wanted to be back here again, regardless of what happened. This is what I love to do, and I feel like I belong to be here because I work hard for it.
And I know some fighters believe in ring rust, some don't, but did you feel anything different in there at first? Did you have to shake off any of the ring rust?
Well, it was a little bit of ring rust also because there was a lot of new things that I wanted to do and that I wanted to implement. I had a very dangerous opponent in regards to the grappling, and you can get caught with any shot. So it was maybe not so much ring rust because I feel like I've been fighting my entire life, but I had to think a lot more, and hopefully for the future ones I'm not that hesitant with things and they come out more naturally, but it was a lot of new things to implement and to think about.
And you mentioned her grappling. Obviously, you were getting the best of her with the striking, with that head kick, a lot of the flurries, and dropped her in the first round too. So her game plan just seemed shoot for submissions all night. Were you expecting that from her?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she trains at 10th Planet Freaks, with Richie, who I've trained with him before, and anytime you hear anything with him, he's like, you go for the finish and you go for the kill. We go for the kill all the time. So her training in there and her mentality, I knew that was going to be the case. I had to find windows to keep myself safe and to find strikes and to just maintain calm. And I felt like if I did that and maintained myself safe, that it was going to be okay and I was going to be able to withstand all her submission attacks.
Well, when she was going for these submissions, it seemed like she would leave her head open a lot.
Yes.
You would break free from submissions by punching her in the head. Were you, I guess, surprised that she didn't adjust the game plan at all?
Well, when you're married to Dan Hardy, he kind of overanalyzes everything, right? So he watched a lot of her, I did as well, a lot of combat jiu-jitsu, and although her grappling is phenomenal, it seems to change a bit when she gets hit with something. So she would freeze or something, and we saw that as an opportunity to, if she goes for something, maintain calm, maintain good positions, good frame, and strike, because you'll find more openings there.
And then final one for me, what was it like fighting here in your like adopted home country as your first fight back? You didn't fight in the Apex or anything, so you went right from fans right into more fans.
No, man, I don't want to fight in no Apex. I want to fight with a crowd. I was upset that they changed it 30 minutes earlier. They didn't tell nobody. I had to text my family frantically so they didn't miss the fight. Because my sister took the whole day off work. If she would have missed it, she would have killed me. So, but it's honestly amazing. You know, tomorrow is Mother's Day, so I'm going to go up and see my adopted family, and it's great because I knew that whatever happened, that they have my back for everything. So it's amazing.
Right,
Thanks.
just over here.
Yeah.
You spoke a little bit about the layoff, the 3 years on the sidelines. How was that mentally for you, having to, like you said, watch other fighters come up?
Well, with 3 years, there's a lot of ups and downs in things, you know, especially my track record in the UFC is pretty horrific. So it was going past looking just at the results and feeling like I was capable of coming back and doing it, and realizing that it was decision making and a lot of things that I was doing incorrectly or not prepping correctly for a fight. It wasn't my lack of ability, and having to overcome that mentally in order to be back was difficult. But also seeing other people fight and live a dream that I want to do, it motivated me to, man, they worked hard and they didn't have ideal scenarios, and look at what you have now. You have a group of people who love you and support you and will take you anywhere you need to go in order to get where you want to be. So of course you can do it.
And I know you had problems with concussions, which
Yes.
was why, you know, you had that long layoff. In terms of, you know, improving, using that time to work on yourself, was that difficult at all, being able to not do certain things?
Well, I wasn't really sure if I was going to not have migraines every day. You know, there were days that I would wake up and the pain was brutal. I would just stare at a wall and cry. And I didn't know if I was going to be okay from that. So it took me some time to realize that, man, I just want to be okay from now on. So to go from that to training to then thinking, look, you can do it, you know, it's gone. You've had doctors, you have everybody around you to help you to overcome all these things. It was a bit difficult, but like I said, you know, when you have Dan Hardy and he's like the best analyst in the world telling you that you can do it, you can do great things in this division, it's hard not to believe him. I mean, you gotta give him the respect that for the man that he is. So I did, and I'm very grateful, very glad that I'm here.
Did you feel pressure at all? Obviously, coming back and everyone's anticipating your return. Did you feel like you had a lot of pressure on you going into this one?
I didn't. I just felt like I had a lot of love and support and a lot of people that were proud of me for going through what I did and still showing my love for something and coming back. So for the first time, I didn't feel pressure.
And
July, so yeah, they are right? Yeah, so come on, July.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Veronica. How you
Yeah.
doing?
Congratulations on the win. You've obviously touched on it, having someone like Dan in the corner, being a fantastic tactical mindset. How much more confidence does it give you going in there when you've got someone like Dan in your corner?
I feel like it's like a cheat code to the game. You have a video game and you found the cheat code and you're like, whoa, this dude has all the answers. And, you know, and he's kind of just, if he can't show you the way that he wants to do it, he can find a fighter and find me an example and find me different ways that other people have applied it, even if it's something that's not his strong suit, or he'll take me to a different gym. You know, he's put so much of his life aside to help me out that it's unbelievable, and it gave me so much strength, because I'm like, Dan doesn't need to do this, man. He has so much more important stuff to do, and if he's taking the time to put all this energy into me, I'm going to give it my all.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Veronica?
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations for your win.
Thank you.
You said earlier you were talking, oh, my UFC record before was horrific. But you know what? You look at you fought, yeah, and you fought some of the best in the division, and then you've come back after 3 years to fight someone who hasn't lost in the UFC yet, and you did what you did. Does that make you feel even more like, I'm ready for this to come back, I'm ready to continue doing what I'm doing?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it had to do with my lack of preparation, had to do with my lack of stability, my lack of understanding the game, and it didn't matter who I faced. I felt like I would lose to amateurs if it came to it, if I didn't fix those things. So it's good to see that I am taking the steps in the right direction to get that way, because in the end of the day, I just want to be the best version of myself that I can be.
Yeah, and you definitely showed that tonight. No one would ever think that you've been out for 3 years after the way you performed, especially against such an up-and-coming prospect as your opponent was.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that. And again, you said you've got Dan in your corner, you've got Jimmy in your corner, Cage Warriors champion.
Yeah.
That must make it so much more sweeter.
Oh, it does. And I have Jack Young in my corner, which, you know, to start training after a concussion where you were so horrible, you have to be very careful who you train with, because somebody who their ego rises up and they, you know, they can just do something crazy and then you're back to square one, you're back to horrible. And to have somebody that was so careful with me, that worked with me every single day, gave me a different system, a different pattern, applied so many things to my game. It was amazing. Him, Jack Young, and his brother Joe. Yeah, thank you guys so much.
I said it looked like you never left, so congratulations.
Thank you. Is that all? Yeah? Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Well, Jojo in the front right here. First of all, congratulations on getting back into the win column. So I guess what are the emotions, this first win in so many years after the long layoff here in the O2?
Yeah, definitely grateful. Happy to be back in the win column, going home with my whole paycheck, and just feeling good. My body feels good, so yeah, a lot of emotions right now.
When they read split decision, were you surprised? Because even your opponent, when they read that you won, she nodded her head like saying, yeah, I assume so.
Yeah, I mean, like Dana says, never take it to the judges. So whenever you're up there waiting for the judge's decision, you're like, man, disappointed the boss. But yeah, I mean, I'm just glad that I was on it, because I've had lots of fights that have been close decisions, but went to the other girl, so definitely happy when they read and I'll have to watch the fight back right now. Who knows what happened in there?
So the game plan of coming into this fight, what was it? Do you think you implemented it in there?
I mean, for us, it was just to get back in there after a long, hard year off, and yeah, not having any injuries. It was good going in there, knowing that I was healthy.
It looked like you almost landed an illegal knee in there. She was down and you missed pretty closely. Did you know her knee was down?
Hey, listen, she kneed me in the balls 3 times in there. I even looked at Herb Dean, he looked back, and then I was like, no, don't get into that. But yeah, I mean, why did we not get 5 minutes? I needed it in there. I felt like I was going to do the toilet. But yeah, I come from Muay Thai, and that was one of my things. I always looked for that as they were going down to kick them in the face, or, I mean, pride drills would be great for me. In the gym, ask anyone that's trained with me, I'm always like throwing it or thinking about it and then being like, oh, sorry.
So you would like 10-minute opening rounds, like in Pride?
Yes. Yeah.
So moving forward, your career, how do you want the rest of your year to look forward? I know you said your contract is coming up, you hope to resign, so is that the goal in the foreseeable future right now?
Yeah, I love it here in the UFC. I love the staff, love you guys. Like, feel like this is my home and would love to get another contract. If not, I will fight my fight and then maybe put the gloves down. But I feel like now that I'm healthy, that I don't really want to put them down right now. So yeah, looking forward to get back in there. I know Lauren Murphy is looking for a fight. I think Lauren, not so lucky the next time, Murphy would be a good fight. So, yeah.
Joanne, just over here, just going off the back of that then, what interests you so much about Lauren Murphy next?
I mean, I kind of fought a lot of girls in the division. I feel like I want to go back and run some back. Before it was a split, close decision win for her. So yeah, I want to get that back.
And you haven't fought in the UK since 2015, back in Glasgow. So what was it like fighting back in the UK again?
It was good, but they messed up in my entrance. I wanted it to kick into the kind of dance song quicker, so that kind of like felt like the Braveheart. The start of it is like really slow and it's really, really powerful. But I was like waiting for it to kick in. But I think everyone was like just feeling that emotion, probably what I'm feeling, and yeah. But it's the whole week's been awesome. I've got two of my team down from Scotland, so. My family's here. It's just felt really good to feel like I'm at home, kinda.
And this was your last fight on your contract, wasn't it, this one?
No, next one.
The next one is. Did you have a lot riding on this? Was there a lot of pressure on you to come out with a victory tonight?
I mean, coming in, I've 3 fight loss streak was more the pressure. The year off was a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stuff that was going into this fight, but I mean, this is the hardest sport, and yeah, we definitely got our work cut out for us.
And I think it was, what, like a year since your last fight? So how soon do you want to get back in there again?
I feel great, like I don't have any injuries, so yeah, I would get back in there as soon as UFC say, hey, let's go. So I feel good, and yeah, another UK show would be awesome, but awesome to fight anywhere.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John. How are you going to celebrate your victory? Are you going to spend some time in Scotland, or is it because your family are here, you're not going to go to Scotland?
I mean, I think I just celebrated. Someone told me to go do a shoey. I was like, I'm wearing flip-flops, but let's go. So that was a first. So I done a flippy, or whatever we're going to call that. So I've already started the celebration.
You going to have any deep-fried Snickers or Mars bars, or?
I've been looking into the fish and chips, but you guys haven't got anything on Scotland, so definitely would love a fritter roll.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anything else? Joanne, one thing.
Hey.
Hi, first of all, congratulations and welcome back to Fight in the UK. It's great to be able to see you here again. As you said, you tend to be quite busy. You don't tend to have a year off, do you? So what was the main reason behind taking the year off, and what did you learn?
Just because the last time I was being active, it was great, but I was like fighting with injuries each time, so it wasn't going in my favour, especially when I wasn't winning. So I was like, oh, it's maybe good being active, but when it's going your way. So yeah, I just had a few injuries and had to take that time off, and yeah, I just needed that break.
Well, you're the sort of fighter that Dana White loves, doesn't he? You know, some people might lose a few and that might be it. But obviously, you're still here, still in contract. And you think the way you fight and the intensity that you like to fight at is one of the main reasons, you're still able to fight in this big show.
Yeah, and being from Scotland, I've been in here I'm supposed to be here and I love it, love the staff, always polite, treat everyone well, and I hope that goes a long way, because I'm proud to be Scottish and grateful for everyone to be like around me and be in this company. I just love it.
Well, we really look forward to seeing you next time, and I hope to get the walkout music right that time.
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay.
finish with the body shot. First of all, did you see that coming a mile away when he opens the body? And obviously, the obvious comparison with it being Makayev's last opponent, you finished him quicker than Makayev did as well. Leaves an opening for that fight if you want to pursue that.
Yeah, well, you know, in preparation, I saw that he rushes in. So it's like a timing shot as a guy closes the distance, boom, the uppercut's right there. And also it acts as like a takedown defense as well, because if he happens to shoot at that time instead, I can use it as an underhook. But, you know, I don't want to give too much away and give fighters free advice. You know, you got to pay me for a PT. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I finished him quicker than Makayev finished him. It was life or death work for Makayev, so, you know, he can say what he wants, but, you know, I think Nascimento would absolutely destroy Makayev, finish him in the first round. I've learned a lot since that fight. I've grown, I've got better. Makayev's been turning the fight down for about 7-8 years, so, but instead he wants to fight me in the back, in the streets and stuff like an idiot. You know what I mean? But hopefully that fight can happen one day, but probably not. But hopefully I can get a top 15 opponent next or crack the top 15 rankings.
And what was that experience like fighting in the O2 on probably the biggest card in UK MMA history as well, just drawing from that crowd?
Yeah, man, I felt like a modern day gladiator coming out and all the people are there, thinking in my mind, they're all there for me. Felt like a modern day gladiator, bloodthirsty. I was bloodthirsty, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want to be too graphic, but like, fighting gets me going.
Well done on the victory.
Jake, how you doing, mate? All right. First of all, congratulations on your win, mate. So how did it feel coming out today, knowing that one of your teammates is the welterweight champion, he's headlining the card? Did you sort of feel like his army behind him sort of thing now? Did it give you any more sort of motivation today?
Yeah, man, of course it gives me motivation, obviously, to see Leon as the champion. I mean, I've always dreamed and always thought, you know, I'm going to be champion one day, but to see a friend and a fellow training partner, and even at one stage he was my coach earlier on in my career, and he's the champion, so it's like, it makes the dreams even more believable. And, you know, it helps push the MMA, especially here in Birmingham, you know what I mean? There's been a lot of pioneers of Birmingham MMA, and Leon's definitely one of them. And also my coach, who was in my corner, Vaughan Lee, pioneer of Birmingham MMA. So, yeah, we're helping it grow and helping the kids in the area, because Birmingham's known for being rough, you know what I mean, rough and tough. You know, and it's giving the people another avenue, you know, getting off the streets and, yeah.
Yeah, well, as you know, I match fights. You sent me some fighters to match for you before. And so how important do you feel it is to give back to your community, you know, to show, like, you know where you've come from, you know what it was like on the streets of Birmingham, you know, and does it feel like almost self-rewarding and really important that someone like you is doing that?
Yeah, definitely feels rewarding, you know, obviously I got a few fighters in the gym and you know, they're looking up to me and feeling like one day they can get there and that, and as long as you work hard and listen, you'll get there, you know.
And one more thing from me, you lived up to your name, your nickname with that finish. Those arms were coming down like King Kong, man. You know what I mean? The way you were throwing them hammer fists, you look like just an angry silverback, man.
Yeah, well, that's why they call me White Kong, isn't it? Like, I don't know, it just come out. Just come out of me then.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Jake, right here, I have to get your reaction to when he came in overweight. Like, this missing weight, but then missing weight by that much is much different.
Yeah, I mean, 3.5 pounds is a lot, especially at a flyweight level. You know, obviously percentage-wise, it's a lot more than a welterweight or whatever. Percentage-wise, he's missed it by quite a lot. You know, and yeah, I took 30% of his purse, but, you know, it's not a lot when you miss the weight by that much. I do think it was a strategic move. The last two opponents have missed weight by quite a bit. I think it was strategic because he wants to